Hello everyone and welcome to this here video tour of this Citroen BX DTR. This is one of 3 left in the UK and one of 2 left on the road. It's quite obviously a rare car because a lot of 80s diesels were either worn out and they were used as fleet cars, so she is a rare survivor with 200,000 miles, mechanically unrestored but physically restored, obviously the cosmetics, so cosmetically restored. Of course, the Citroen BX original production run was between 1983 and 1993, where it was replaced by the Xantia, which of course followed the same sort of weird, quirky stuff with the hydrogen pneumatic suspension, etc., and included a new locking feature. So let's have a quick look and a quick tour around this here beast. This, of course, is one of these cars from my childhood. You see these around all the time, but they were always like this because the spheres at the back were failed, or the owners just left them in a weird state. So let's have a quick tour around and have a look around this wonderful Citroen BX in romantic blue. So this particular model, the Mark 1 DTR, as this is called, was only made for around 9 months until the Mark 2 was released. So this is obviously quite a special car. The romantic blue with the appropriately coloured plastic bumpers look very nice. Of course, with a lot of Tim's cars at Crap Car Collective, by the way, if you would like to have a look at his stuff, link below in the description. These all have a bit of a personal touch, so of course he remembers these from when he was younger. So we'll have a good look around. One of the main sort of things I didn't realise about this car, and I've said this before in a tour video, I didn't realise they had a centre wiper. This is one of the most curious things ever. I really love a centre wiper. Of course you can see it's been cosmetically restored because the quality of the paint is just something else. Of course, with these as well, another curious design element is the way these are integrated into the wing. Of course, he's got these lovely headlamp protectors. Also, another thing, when I was really young, I used to think that people had put these Citroen badges back on, so that I always thought badges go in the middle. Of course, this one's on the very side. The first, obviously, when the Xantia was introduced, it originally had it on that side, and then they moved it over to the middle with a grill. So this, of course, has the original Mark 1 interior, but we'll get onto that interior in a bit. We will use obviously the door test. I rate the doors, it's the 4th best one out of the collection for the doors. Of course, there's a lot of window in this car. You've got this giant window here, which I just think is crazy. Also, love hub nut. Brilliant. You've got glass here, but another thing which you don't notice is there's also glass here on this. So you've got glass. What is this? I think that's perspex, or it's glass. 1, 2, 3, 4 windows just on one side alone, which is just, I think, is nice. Of course, you've got the lovely, I think on these models, not the GT, which obviously have the bigger spoiler, you have these tiny little spoiler. It's almost like a little triangle, little lip. These headlights to me are iconic because you always used to see these around the estate. Another thing as well I didn't notice about this car is where the boot release is. So I thought that you would have a logo on here, but the boot release, you push that in and pull it up, and there you have your big boot with, kindly, this wonderful load space protector. Of course, another weird thing about these is you have the whatchamacallit, or the tool stored in there, and then obviously you have the spare wheel under there. Wow, yeah, some really nice stuff. This parcel shelf is also, look at all that plastic. That is a sturdy parcel shelf, but I don't know what sort of plastic that is. I might need to find that out because that is really, really, really sturdy. Of course, you get the flimsy sort of weird ones that come on Rovers, and they always end up falling to pieces. Obviously, I'm a bit of a Rover man myself. So we will have a good look around this side. Of course, you've got the ribs on this side as well. Really, really just odd little features. And one of the things I like about this is when Tim started her up, of course she wakes up like a little dog, like a really lazy old dog. So she gets up, and up, and then obviously it raises to its ride height. Again, the same situation on this side with the 4 windows, so you really do have a wraparound sort of glass effect. And the pillars, of course, like with most old cars, are fairly minute. So let's, of course, also mud flaps, and a curious feature about this wonderful thing, you've got reflectors on the mud flaps. How cool is that? That is something else. Of course, this is a 1.9 4-cylinder diesel, DTR naturally. All the ones of these that are naturally survivors are usually petrols, because obviously the diesels were all fleet cars, so they got run into the ground. So this, of course, is a really nice treat and is a rare survivor. So let's have a look at the interior. The door slam, of course, very stereotypical of a car video. So with this being the Mark 1, it's got a totally different dash, of course, to the Mark 2. We have the similar sort of speedo arrangement and fuel gauge and oil temperature, oil pressure gauge as the CX. You've got these wonderful controls, which I used to think were a bit weird. So you literally everything is within a fingertips reach, rather than having to sort of do that, flap about a bit. You've got everything within a fingertips reach. So if I just put her on power, you can press right, very nice click, and left. Oh, left and right. Completely got the wrong way around. I only remember left and right via PlayStation controller. That's how much of a millennial I am. So there's a few very interesting things. So with this, like on a lot of weird Citroens, you have a weird glove box release mechanism. So you twist that and you pull. On the later CXs, you push it in and you pull. And on the later BXs, sorry, you push it in and you pull. And on the CX, you twist it in. It's like a bottle cap. Very weird. So of course, it's a very blocky design with it being an 80s car, and you've got your really weird and eccentric Citroen steering wheel. Your rev counter is also digital and has this incredible font where the 2 looks like a Z. I think that's very, very weird. So you've got this here thing, which is for the lever for raising and lowering the car suspension. So you basically push it to the left to release and push it down, obviously to lower it, and then push it this way. You obviously lock it in place once you've done it, and then you push it to the left and do that to raise it, which I think is just really, really weird. It's almost like landing gear on an aeroplane. Another thing I've noticed about this car as well, you've got your shift map on here rather than on the top of the gear knob, of course, because at the time, if that was on there, it probably would have rubbed off by now. But curiously, she's got her mats, original mats under there, as well as the original mats on top, which is obviously the far more durable rubber mats. So let's get to the back seat test. So now we are in the back seat. The hair test has sadly been failed. If I was sat a bit more forward, the hair test would pass. But it's a bit boxy, it sort of swoops over, but yeah, you've got these lovely windows we can have a look out of as well in the back. It's just so airy and so nice, almost similar to a Maestro in terms of the glass arrangement. You've even got these weird lights here, which I think is quite cool. See, that happens when you open the door. The weird flappy door releases. Just everything about this car is just incredibly eccentric and extremely French. Another thing as well is the way these seats concave in the middle, and especially with these front seats as well. That is the weirdest headrest design I've ever seen. The way it just but it is extremely comfortable, especially if you think about how the back of your head is shaped. When you rest in the back of your head on it, it's really comfortable. It almost concaves to your head, or conforms to your head, if you will. So that is enough of the rear end of the car. So I hope you enjoyed this brief tour of this wonderful Citroen BX DTR, one of 3 left in the UK and one of 2 left on the road. Of course, for a 200,000 mile example, she is extremely nice looking. Of course, she's had her paint and everything done. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below of your favourite feature of this wonderful little car, and let me know your thoughts. Of course, new videos Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday eventually. So thank you for watching, keep watching, and remember to subscribe, and thank you to Tim for allowing me to film these cars and just look at his little vase.